Chapter 23. On the local news, Robbie Tova is mad as anything, and she's not taking it anymore. She stands on the steps of Town Hall with half her congregation and shouts, "Is baseball history in Hillcrest? If you mean the kind of baseball that uses steroids to cheat and win and harm young players, then yes, indeed, it is history here." Walt and I clap at that and turn on the Reds game. We both have work to do, but it's good to have a baseball game happening in the background. It gives you comfort, except for the commercials. I'm all for comfort right now. The new medicine Dr. Dugan gave me has a side effect, dry mouth. I feel like I'm in the desert. Walt says she's going to change the medication again to see if it makes me feel better. Better is good. Getting worse is not acceptable. We're picking up the pills tomorrow. I asked her about the side effects, Jer. And? I asked. She said you might urinate more in the beginning. Come on, I hate that, I say. Sorry, pal. Maybe you won't, though, he says. I probably will, but I can't think about that now. Tomorrow will be my first big speech to the team, and it's got to be right. Mr. Hazard got us a game in 2 days against the Meyerson Middle School Bolts. I spread out my coaching books for inspiration. There are speeches coaches give in the middle of a game when their team is losing. You're better than this. Remember that. I know what you can do. That's not the kind of speech I need. There are speeches coaches give near the end of a game when their team is losing. Like, when you look in the mirror tomorrow, will you be able to say I did everything I could to win? Will you? I'm going to have to write my own. From the heart, Alice. I practice the speech in front of Jerwal, who moves back and forth. I practice it in front of Adler, who really wants to play Get the Bagel. All during school, I think about it. It's going to be a big moment. After school, when the guys come on the field, Benchant walks up to me. I'm not sure I can stay on the team, Lopper. Why not? I ask him. He shrugs. When Casey says he's not sure he can keep playing either. We can't lose our reliever. This is bleak. We go through some fundamental drills. Danny Lopez, our third baseman, isn't here, so I adjust. Donald, you're on third. He half runs over. We do the ground ball drill. We do the fly ball drill. Donald misses every time. He even drops the ball Terrell hands to him. There's no hustle on this field except for Terrell. I can't stand it anymore. I wave my arms for them to stop. You're not the same team. What happened? I ask. They look down. Honcho steps forward. We're going to get killed tomorrow, Jeremiah. Meyerson is seriously good. Man, we're not ready. I don't know what to do. Is that how the rest of you feel? I ask. Logo and the Oxleys nod. So, what would make you feel ready? I ask. Sky laughs. A couple of wins? This feels like a Magellan moment when people were telling him it was impossible to circle the globe because there was no globe, and he'd better wake up to reality. I cross my arms like coaches do. All I can tell you is what I know. Winning isn't just about who gets the most runs. That's not the point, I tell them. Donald Mole is leaning on his bat, listening like I've got the secret to the universe. This was not the speech I planned at all. Winning, I tell them, is deciding you're not going to quit. They look at one another. You've got to do the hard work and decide you're going to keep at it, bit by bit, no matter how tough it gets. Now Benchant looks straight at me. Here's the word we kill, here and now. I tell him. The guys wait for the word, just like I waited for it when Walt told me this in the hospital. Quitter. I kick the sand. That's dead to us. We destroy it. I stomp my foot like I'm squishing a bug. Terrell is looking around at the faces. He looks back at me and nods. He's not quitting. I stare at them. So what are you not going to be? Quitters, they say. I want you to write it down. I'm not a quitter. Benchant raises his hand. I don't have any paper. Do it when you get home, I say. Write it down every day, and next to it write, I'm a winner. Benchant says, How come you know this, Lopper? In my head, I think, I learned it when I got sick and thought I was going to die, and I was too sick to care, but Walt told me. He put courage in me. I say, I play the game in my head. I picture all the things that can go wrong, and I see myself stepping over them and getting it right. Benchant glares at me. You know what, Benchant? Glare at the pitcher just like that. It's awesome. That throws him. It is? Positively awesome, like a secret weapon. I slap him on the back. He smiles a little. You think? He asks. I smile back. I know. And that's for all of you. Attitude on the field. I want you to practice that. Game face is on. They get serious. Okay, I shout. Who are we? The Muskrats, they yell back. We need to do something about that name. Danny comes late to practice. I give him a shorter version of the speech. You have to play tomorrow, I tell him. We need you. I'll be there, he says. I give Franny the entire speech and she says, where did you learn to think like that? My dad, mostly, I tell her. Franny looks down. I learned the exact opposite from my dad. Where is your father, I ask. She doesn't answer. I don't push. You're coming tomorrow, right? We need loyal, cheering fans. Benny and I will be there, she says. It's nice you take care of him, I tell her. Benny has a special way of looking at the world. And believe me, Jeremiah, after everything, she stops. It's the least I can do. What does that mean, Franny? I think in my head. And she walks into her house.